But like curtain, the thoughts fill up your head until your skin expands. Outward and upward like a balloon of ideas. And you have to tell someone. You have to write them down before the balloon explodes and your brains splatter all over the walls of the period.
It's like you can't do anything because you're not grown up enough yet, but you feel like you could do anything.
Like you could do everything.
AP English Language Fall Syllabus Section.
This preparation is on The Phantom of the Opera. And how much blood it kicks.
Dear Miss Rudolph, it's so easy to feel so close to a fictional character.
I love Phantom of the Opera so much.
It's just like so brilliant. Sometimes they feel more real than real people.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is my favorite genius.
How did I figure out who I was?
I would love to be able to write a musical, but it must take so much hard work, so much trial and error.
Harry Potter and the Spellbound Score.
A musical
By Anna Miles. But it is to look through it wistfully. She's at once mesmerized and terrified of the strange book.
Father once spoke of an angel. I used to dream you here. Now as I cast, I can see. And I know he must have been dreaming. Stories like this can't come true. Lately you're talking in riddles, and it's not like you. Magic I no longer secret and strange angel. Fantasy, the power or process of creating especially unrealistic or improbable mental images in response to psychological need.
What was the need?
To feel less frightened
What?
of life, of boys.
Oh, right. Boys.
How deep does love go? How do you know? Feelings and intuition, or does your heart deceive you? Love. L-O to the V. I always thought that teens today cheapened love with hormonal passions, and sure, that might be some of it, but maybe not all. Love must exist if it can be captured so well in works such as Phantom of the Opera or Romeo and Juliet.
Notice the mask of night is on my face. Else would have made him blush to paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight.
What do you think love was?
Something painful.
You thought love was supposed to hurt?
Well, I thought it was supposed to hurt at first. Like, at first. It would be tormented and overwhelming when you couldn't have the one you wanted. But when that person finally noticed you, when they finally loved you back, you would be seen like you've never been seen before, and you would be beautiful and grown up all at once.
Like Twilight?
Oh, here we go again with the vampire.
I think maybe I thought love could be scary at first. Not like literally scary necessarily, but maybe emotionally scary or confusing. But even if it was those things, it would be alright because in the end you'd be a Pemberley and you would have to be
Painful at first, but peaceful eventually.
Huh. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, plan me no plans. I'm in no rush. Maybe I've learned. Playing with matches, a girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, throw me no broom, find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a matchless match. Why Fred Weasley?
I don't know. Maybe it was his sense of humor or his irreverence of authority. But I think it was mostly because he was a big enough character that he had enough personality traits for my imagination to work with, but a small enough character that he still had plenty of blanks left for me to fill in. There's just enough ambiguity to him that I could still control who he was, and who I was when I was with him. He was my Hogwarts hottie, my wizard of love, my soulmate sent to unlock my chamber of secrets.
Belle had a sleepover at Joel's house, and we were spooning. And then Gabriel actually laid his arm across my leg, on my leg. And I was like, hello, arm on my leg. Dean, this is sounding really sexual.
There's like, time is moving faster than you want it it to, and you want it to slow down, but you're afraid that if it does, you'll never feel this way again. And you're afraid to feel this way, but you're more afraid to lose it.
And then once the sun rose, things were different. We could be seen. We were back to our daylight selves. Maybe I should give him a chance.
Maybe we'll pretend like it never happened. A letter to myself. I'm not worried about no guys liking me right now.
Because every guy that doesn't like me is just one more Mr. Wrong on the road to Mr. Right.
I now make this promise to myself. I will never let a man ruin my life. I remember the shower hitting my back as I sat huddled on the bathroom floor, closing my eyes and trying to disappear. I remember everything about that trip under a film of water. A film that perpetually covered my eyes when I should have enjoyed being young and with my friends and about to go off to a great college far away from my strange, suicidal, passive-aggressive boyfriend.
He kept repeating that high school relationships are silly. And you have no idea how my heart was breaking by then. He said that he was really confused by my mood swings. He said he wasn't sure that he could be in a relationship with someone who he could depress. I'm not sorry.
Or happy. Just numb.
Did you have your pets like grab them and just Guard! I just get 2 fucking pages again. Life sucks. No grades, talents, activities. None of it matters if you aren't happy. If there's no one willing to love you. I hate it. I hate being this teenager with this high school drama, as Gabriel called it. Just a fucking asshole. Emotions aren't unimportant just because they happen in high school. The Phantom was so intense and passionate, but like, no matter how much Christine cared for him, he could never give her the life that she wanted amongst the people that she loved. He was only ever going to drag her down into his sorrow. So she chose the light. She had to choose the light.
All I ever learned about sex when I was a preteen was that I wasn't supposed to want it, and that if I had it, it was probably because I had low self-esteem. But I couldn't shut off my sexuality. I had to explore it somehow. But to explore that sexuality in real life with real boys is scary. It's dangerous.
So, we pick a boy who's far away. An actor.
A member of a boy band.
A fictional character. A particular person who has an impact on it. Once it isn't a fantasy boy, once it's a real boy, he'll put his hand between your legs without asking.
He'll tell you he's not sure how he feels about your weight gain, because on the one hand it makes you look fatter, but on the other hand it makes your boobs look bigger.
We have such a small window in which we're in control of ourselves, our bodies, and our sexualities, and that window comes approximately between the ages of 12 and 16, and only when the boy exists inside our heads as part of our bodies.
When the boy exists outside of your head, you soon learn that you will never again belong to yourself. And you will never feel safe. Ever again. Sleepy saint me, dreams came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is me.
My paper man can fly sometimes,
If I touch his hand, away he soars.
but never will I be afraid.
For my paper man
Always comes back.
Dear Miss Rowland, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't at least try to share my ideas with you. Because what if they're good? What if my ideas are really, really good? And what if I have a story worth telling? And what if I spent my whole life keeping those stories bottled up inside of me because I was afraid that someone would tell me that they weren't good? And what if then the stories shriveled up and died, and no one who needed to hear them ever heard them, and whatever difference I could make on this world was never made? I was too afraid to share them. Grown-ups, boys, wonder how it is teenage girls can feel things so deeply.
But I miss feeling things so much.
I miss when just nudging the edge of your hand up against the edge of a boy's hand was enough to ignite not just a spark, but a wall of ever-climbing flame.
Do you ever wish that you could just take your teenage self and hold her in the palm of your hand and talk to her just one more time?
What would you say to her if you could?